Hey, what's up everybody? DocHoliday here, back again with some more professional Korean StarCraft content for you, brought to you by StarCastTV. We've got a PvT here for you today between Mini and Sharp, so it's going to shape up to be an awesome game, no doubt. If you've been enjoying the content on the channel, please go ahead and consider hitting that subscribe button. Of course, leave us a comment in the comment section below. You can also hit that like button too, or if you want me to stop by your house and leave Legos all over your bathroom floor at night, you can hit the dislike button. But that wouldn't be my personal recommendation. Anyways, let's go ahead and get right on into the cast here, guys. Here we go. Alrighty, guys. Well, spawning in the 12 o'clock position as the yellow Protoss, we have none other than Mini. And, of course, in the bottom right-hand corner, spawning as the orange Terran and his opponent for the day, we have Sharp. Alrighty, guys. Well, this is Neo Sylphan, I'm sure a map that you've all been sufficiently acclimated to. It's been quite a popular map for the last couple of months. Maybe even a year now. How long has it been since Sylphan's been out? Not really sure. Certainly a pretty popular map in the tournament scene on the foreign side, and of course on the Korean side as well. Not particularly popular with some foreign Protosses that I happen to associate with, but generally speaking, well-received map nonetheless. Of course, we're going to be seeing a PvT here today. So generally considered one of the most macro-y matchups. Of course, I think nothing can get more macro-y than TvT, but PvT still very, very long, typically lots of units, big old battles, all kinds of crazy stuff going on. So we'll have to see how that develops. Of course, Protoss does have the opportunity to do a lot of damage early on with a couple of different tricky things that they can do, so we'll have to go ahead and see what Mini decides to open the game with. We do have, it looks like, first gateway here. Of course, that is super duper normal here. First opportunity for aggression is going to be whether or not Mini decides to make a Zealot. In the meantime, we have just a barracks going down here in the base for Sharp. Interesting positioning. I've noticed a lot of professional Koreans don't like to do the little wall where they put the barracks right there, so that way the Marine can go in and out in between the barracks and the supply depot, and kind of dodge away from all of the attacks from the Zealot. Of course, that may be just because they have excellent mechanics, very good Marine control, and they're not really worried about one laser sword punchy boy. So, alrighty, Mini getting annoying with the Probe Harass. Probe, notorious unit. Rated amongst the best units by Artosis on his StarCraft tier list, and you can see why already. The SCV is down to 20 HP, 15 now, 3 more hits. He has to retreat into the mineral line despite having the most HP of any worker in the game. If that was a drone, it would need 1 more hit and it'd be at 1 HP right now. In the meantime, Zealot is now moving out onto the field here. And we do have the Cyber Core going down here with a perfectly timed gas, finishing up right as that core gets up for Mini. In the meantime, Marine trying to push out the Probe, and it is going to be successful at doing so. Probe going to hang out here for a little bit, though. Potentially going to add a little bit of additional DPS here with the incoming Zealot to, you know, just potentially get a Marine kill or something here. In the meantime, it looks like we do have the Marines now trying to secure the natural expansion here for Sharp, so that way he can put his CC down and start getting his expansion going. Not sure. It looks like Sharp did see the Zealot there, maybe? Not sure. This is not a high ground here, so it's not being hidden by any kind of ramp or anything like that. Second Zealot on the way, though, and that gets spotted by the scouting SCV here. So that is a pretty aggressive little move out here. We can't afford to lose too many of these Marines here. Really sick movement there with the SCV. Right away, gets right up against the wall so that the Zealot cannot get across and get into the attack range that it needs to be for to hit the Marines here. So excellent control already for Sharp. And these Koreans, the tiny little things that they do are absolutely just super surprising when you actually see how they work out. That's got to be so frustrating as the as a Protoss here to just get totally destroyed by one SCV blocking everything. All right, the Zealots do make it past the line backing SCV here now. This is a little bit scary. Looks like this might actually still be a Zealot type wall. Is that the case? No, it is not. The Zealots can walk right through there. But we do have the Vulture now on the field, and that is going to clean up this Zealot post-haste. We do have a Dragoon on the way here, though. Oh my gosh. The Zealot getting a large number of hits, actually, on the Vulture here. Now we have the little Dragoon Dance, going to be backing up and doing as much damage as it can to this ball. We have 3 very injured Marines and a very injured Vulture as well, so this Dragoon could actually do a pretty significant amount of damage here. In the meantime, yet another scouting SV trying to get over here to spot if there is actually a Nexus going down here in the natural, or what is going on, as at this point Sharp is pretty much in the dark as far as what the build order is going to be. We do have Robo on the way now. That's going to provide the opportunity to make observers, to make sure that, you know, spider mines don't get to take over the map for the entire game, as well as shuttles and all kinds of other good stuff. Oh my gosh. In the meantime, Vulture sneaking into the main base here of Mini. Sharp is going to see everything he wants, even get some kills on these probes here. They're trying to mine the gas. Going to get a little bit more damage done, but he's basically saw the entire base, so he's going to know exactly what he's going to be going up against in the future here. Let's see what we're going to be dealing with. Looks like we have a Stargate going down here, likely going to be for a Wraith to make sure that no shuttle gets in this base anytime soon. Very good unit at controlling the sky, so that way Reavers don't get into the main and do a ton of damage to the Terran. And here we go, a couple of Dragoons now, just checking the map out, checking to make sure there's no more scouts or anything like that. Looks like we're even checking over here around the sides as well to make sure there's nothing spotting for the shuttle as it comes out of the Protoss main. Alright, Reaver on the way now. We should be seeing shuttle speed coming up as well eventually here. Of course, very important upgrade in order to use your shuttles effectively in this matchup, or really any matchup. Speed shuttles are just so dang fast, man. Alrighty. Finally, we have the probe transfer over the natural expansion here. 6 minutes have gone by so far on the clock. Looks like we're going to be loading up 2 Zealots to buffer some initial damage. That way, when the Reaver pops out, it is able to do its damage to the workers and not have to worry about any units trying to shoot it down, as it's very vulnerable on the ground without very much movement speed or, you know, very much armor or HP or anything like that. So here we go. Ooh. Spider Mine, very narrowly missed by the Dragoons, actually going to alert Sharp to the positioning of this shuttle here. So the Wraith going to come in here, immediately starts getting a couple of shots off. We're going to see a very low... oh, wow. We're just going for the bust here, maybe? Are we just dropping this at the bunker? Oh, my gosh! Scarab immediately kills 4 SCVs. We have 2 more SCVs going down and a shot on the tank all at once. Additional SCVs getting killed here. We did lose 2 Dragoons, but we are now loading up for the Harassment at this point. Where is the Wraith? Looks like the Wraith got shot down at some point by the Dragoons. I don't even know when that happened, but here we go. Now we have a Dragoon being dropped on the low ground so it'll tank some of the tank fire. We even get a kill on one of the tanks here. Some more successful shots on this mineral line here, and we have some barely surviving SCVs. Very bruised up. Looks like he was wearing his shin guards for soccer practice still, though, because he is just barely hanging on there. In the meantime, we have a expansion attempt, looks like, blocked by a Vulture, and even gets the kill on the Dragoon, so that is excellent. Of course, a Spider Mine for a Dragoon. Pretty advantageous trade, I would say, for the Terran there. But we do finally have the third now coming down here now that the mine has been cleared out and all the units have been cleared out of that expansion as well. And we do see the Terrans moving out onto the field here, of course, under the watchful eye of an observer. So that is not going to be unscouted by any means. Let's see, what are we doing here? Do we have an expansion attempt? Nothing of the sort. Looks like we have an actual push coming out here on the field to try to deny this third base. Now, we do have a Reaver, but the Reaver is very weak. Let's see what the robotics facility has been producing. Doesn't look like we have any more Reavers on the field at all, as a matter of fact. Just been cranking out those observers. So we are going to try and slow this push down with a couple of Reaver shots here. This is pretty risky, though. The shuttle is low. Oh, but here comes the Dragoons to save the day once again. So very nicely picked off. Just a tiny bit more HP left on it. Are the Marines going to shoot down the shuttle? That'd be so crazy. Looks like we're placing some Spider Mines just in the nick of time to keep these Dragoons from getting on top of this army right away. Tank's playing the footsie game here with the Dragoons a little bit, trying to get off the unsieged tank shots here. Because if they siege up, then that's going to put the tanks at a very high risk of just being dropped right on top of them, so they're unable to do any damage here. Tanks still just doing some work here, but doesn't look like they're going to be enough as the last 2 Dragoons are going to be able to finish off the remnants of the Terran army here. And that is going to secure this 3rd base for now, and that is a very successful defense attempt there by Mini, as he's now able to secure his 3rd base and move on into the next phase of this game. So, Terran, what is the plan? Looks like we have a CC coming up in the main here. We're starting to work on our upgrades as well. Have a couple drops here in the main. These mines, of course, going to be very disruptive, as they're going to make it very difficult for the Dragoons to get over to assist these very vulnerable probes here in the mineral line. Man, I am tripping all over my tongue. But yeah, look at it. They're just stuck looking at this little biker guy over here, just waiting until they can see. Oh wow. Okay. Well, now he's dead. Well, see you later, biker guy. In the meantime, we do have 2 more biker guys. Oh, and Amina almost snipes a couple of more probes here. This Zealot's playing a risky game in the mineral line here. Takes a couple of mines to the face, gives his life for ire, as they do. And yeah, wow. Very successful double drop attempt here so far. Gotten a decent number of probe kills and really just disrupted the kind of thought process and the play pattern here for Mini. So pretty interesting stuff that we have going on so far in this game. Looks like the 3rd is just about being complete here. Gonna be dropped on over to that 3rd in a minute here. Alrighty, let's see it. Is the Reaver shot gonna be amazing? Gets dropped rather right behind here, and look at this! These units are actually blocking the Scarab from getting out here, so creates a dud there. I don't know if you guys know this, but Scarabs actually do need clear pathing to the mineral line in order to do their damage, so unfortunately, with that incredible movement by the troops, actually gonna block the... Oh my gosh, this Reaver is going ham, man! Oh my... Oh! Ah! Oh! Oh my gosh, okay, once again, another dud. The unit's just blocking that Scarab's pathing, not letting it to get to the very vulnerable SCVs there. Man, quite the nail-biter this one so far. Lots of dropping action going on here, guys. But yeah, fairly successful drop there. Got some tanks and everything for the Reaver, so even though we didn't get one of those game-ending detonations with the Scarabs, certainly still worth it overall. Oh, that stressed me out, guys. I don't know about you, I'm sweating. 3rd base, still not quite ready to lift off over to the 3rd. Looks like we're going to wait for a couple more units here so we can secure that 3rd base. But in the meantime, not letting the CC go to waste, so we are overproducing these SCVs as much as possible, getting it ready so we can have a nice big transfer over to that natural, over to the 3rd rather, once it's ready to go. Looks like we have yet another shuttle being loaded up here for potentially some more harass. Dropping the Zealots off, though. Looks like we're going to be using the shuttle this time to defend against these Vultures. Vultures coming in, do a little bit of damage, looks like, but not enough to be too impactful. Oh my gosh, the mine even blocks the Scarab. Dude, Scarabs get stuck on everything, man. God, could you imagine if a Scarab was a person and just be like walking down the street and there'd be like an ant on the ground and you'd trip right over and fall on his face? Man, it's got to be annoying as a Protoss player, man. That would drive me absolutely insane. Alrighty, finally, the 3rd is getting off of its lazy butt and heading on over to the 3rd base. Gonna sit down there, start collecting the minerals, building up a bank, getting that 401k going. Got to take advantage of that, of course. If the Terran company has matching, you know, it's free money, man. That's retirement advice brought to you by StarCastTV. Put money in your 401k. Anyways. Totally irrelevant, by the way. We have double shuttle here. That is an excellent tool to help the Protoss break into bases here. Looks like we're just going YOLO, though. And heading right on into the main mineral line once again. Even though the building placement has many times over made this very ineffective. We are... Man, there is so many dudes in here. Look at how many dudes there are here. They're punching the hell out of these guys. We're killing buildings. We're shooting guys building buildings. We're killing dudes on motorcycles, and in the meantime, we're positioning our army for a giant assault here at the natural expansion. We've got a couple of tanks. Okay, no, we got like 5 tanks here, but they are mostly out of position, very up in kind of in this forward position, trying to defend the third at the same time. Tons of Protoss units streaming on into the natural expansion. The tanks are going down faster than I can even count. We have more Zealots streaming on into the third base as well. Gonna be cleaning up all those little mining SCVs that have been just transferred to that third. Woo, that was scary, man. If all of these Zealots had actually gone into the natural expansion instead of trying to attack at this third, I think this would have been a little bit more successful in ending the game. But nonetheless, we force a liftoff on the third, and a very large number of tanks go down. So this I would call a success for our Protoss player. Now, we do have a fourth base now being established for the Protoss as well. Oh my gosh, that Zealot is the MVP, man. All of his homies are back here. He's like, don't worry, guys. I'll take care of the mines. Say goodbye to my wife and kids for me. Tell them I love them. So he goes in, tanks all that. Looks like there is just too much Terran, though. So Protoss is going to have to back off for now, but we have gotten a significant number of SCV picks. We forced a liftoff at the third. Delaying the expansion attempts by Sharp has been very, very important for Mini's game plan, as he does have his fourth already up and running here. So getting a very nice economic advantage will obviously eventually snowball into a giant army. Hopefully an overwhelming army for Mini as he heads on into the next phase of the game. We should be seeing progression towards, what are they called? You know what I'm talking about. The Arbiters. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. Well, we do have Templar Archives, so that's a good sign. We don't have, I don't think I've seen a Stargate at least anywhere yet. Yeah, no Stargate quite on the way yet. But that is a good sign that we are thinking about going Arbiter here in the future. Of course, nothing wrong with a couple High Templar. Very strong AoE unit. Does very well against pretty much every unit in the game. Of course, versus Zerg, it's the most effective, but still highly effective versus mech. Does very good supplemental damage. It really helps the Protoss kind of break down the Terran defenses, or sorry, the Terran HP. Man, I'm looking at these Terran defenses and thinking, we're just going back on into this, huh? This time we brought more Reavers. Double Reaver all the way. Oh my gosh. And the Reavers, once again, I mean, sure, we're doing an okay job forcing these units out of position. All these SCVs once again have to pick up. Not going to be able to mine for a little while. And we are playing ring around the rosy here a little bit with these siege tanks, but yet to really do very much economic damage. Look at these little conga lines of Terran SCVs just kind of making their way back and forth between the bases here. That's what you get with superior F-key usage, by the way. Instantly able to switch between your mineral lines and send those SCVs wherever it might be safe for them. Protoss now taking the 5th base. Mini doing a very good job developing his economy. Alrighty, guys. Well, we're getting close to being mined out here in the Terran main. As you can see, very low mineral counts here. And, oh my lord. This needs to be reported to OSHA right away. I don't think this is very safe. I gotta assume, I don't know if Vespene gas really is explosive, but I would have to assume that it is. You know what I mean? I'm not sure you can keep that around open flames. Alrighty. Couple of High Templar loaded up in a, shuttle here. In the meantime, we have a Terran drop as well here at the bottom of the map. Looks like we're gonna meet. Oh, heartbreaking. They pass each other in the night. Where does the Zealot think he's going? Okay. Pretty much a big whiffo there with that first High Templar, but the second one could prove to be disastrous. What? Okay. I mean, it was good. It was. I mean, that's all right, you know. Science Festival in the meantime. Spotting that shuttle in the bottom right-hand corner. Times like these when I'm sure the Science Festival laments being only loaded up with EMP instead of even just like a normal gun, you know? Because all you can do is just look at that shuttle. What if he just had a gun, like a regular gun, like a marine gun? You know, you could just put it out the window and shoot the shuttle down, but No can do. You can just take the shields away over and over again. So at very worst, be a kind of a nuisance. Alrighty. Nice little drop over here. I like this. It's very cute. Unfortunately, it looks like the dropship got pushed away a little bit here, so we kind of missed out on an opportunity to do a little bit more damage, as the siege tank did not have the vision that it needed in order to continue doing damage here on the high ground. But nonetheless, very cute. I liked how we had mines in position to slow down the drop defense as well. But look at this big, big Terran army. And look at this. Look at that. Look at that. What do you guys see here? Is that +2 weapons I see? Could it be? Oh, man. I don't know if you guys know this, but Terran with +2 weapons, pretty terrifying. Very strong stuff here. It's kind of that point. It's been explained to me this way, okay? Siege tanks benefit greatly, of course, from the attack upgrade, as you can see. And when you get +2 attack, it's just siege tanks become, for some reason, just exponentially more effective. They're just able to just shred everything all of a sudden once you're at +2 attack. Some people have said, well, it's a breakpoint where they kill Dragoons and a less number of shots. But Nyokin says it's really just more about the overall strength versus all of the units. So, very strong Terran army is what I'm trying to say. Big swole boys right there in the middle. In the meantime, slippery snake Protoss trying to find any angle where they can come around and do some damage. This posturing, of course, is very nice. Forces the tanks to re-siege and unsiege and re-siege and unsiege over and over and over again. Slowing down any kind of doom push across the map here. While Protoss continues to trade away units for very small numbers of units. They have a very large economic advantage with 6 bases now on the field here. So replacing these pretty inexpensive overall gateway units, not nearly as difficult as it is to replace the very expensive, very slow to build mech army. So we have, man, Terran is really just marching across the map here, setting up an excellent position outside here for Mini's quote-unquote natural third, but this in this game has been the 4th base. And this is an unfortunate base to lose because, of course, it's going to provide a lot of gas here. Very important resource, of course. Wow, double D matrix. These tanks are just invincible, just hanging out here. Finally die after the entire Protoss army pounds away. Another double D matrix on these siege tanks. Look at these guys. Man, giving a whole new meaning to the word tank. And in the meantime, siege tanks over here towards the wall separating the normal portion of the map from the base. Finally gonna take out the 4th base. So Mini losing a base here so far in this very extended fight. Zealots doing their best to get kind of these minefields cleared out here, but still trading very ineffectively so far. Mini really down to quite a small army overall. We need to start being more cost effective with these units. Otherwise, Mini's going to find himself in a position to lose yet another base. Tank count generally still being preserved here. Trading out lots of vultures for the units in the Protoss army. Tank's now in position to take out the 3rd base. Although mine's not set up quite here yet, so Zealot's going to be getting on top of the siege tanks. We have another nice little storm here. Oh, a huge storm on top of 4 tanks. Zealot's getting in on this as well. Oh my gosh, we're gonna get both of these? The Zealot is just, come on, kill him! Goliaths! Oh, he lives with 14 HP. Man, that siege tank is gonna have a lot to talk about with his therapist once he gets back from the war. Jeez, Aloo. In the meantime, a couple of rogue Goliaths just murdering innocent probes as they try to get to another base here. Sharp absolutely mauling Mini's bases. Siege tanks coming to reinforce. This is a super dead base. But there isn't really that much that Mini can do about it right now. Now, as you can see, guys, main is mined out. Natural, mined out. 3rd base, mined out. So we got this high ground 4th expanding towards what was the 3rd base for Mini. And of course, we're floating the natural expansion now to the mineral only here to kind of continue our ability to survive in this game. let us make some more units, you know? Sharp has done an excellent job of clearing out lots of these ancillary bases, but unfortunately we still have 2 operating bases here, plus a little bit more mining at the natural, surprisingly, for Mini. So he's not out of this game yet. These, I mean, especially the top right-hand corner base, this is almost not a loss. Oh my god! Devastating double drops here. This is Sharp's currently only really mining base here, and we're getting a lot of damage done. Now, very important, kind of something I think a lot of people don't know unless they play the game as one of the 2 races. But if you've noticed, sometimes the scare will detonate here on the SCVs, but they won't die. And the reason for that is the SCVs are moving. They're actually not going to get hit by the primary shot. They get hit by the splash damage. So they are able to survive a scarab shot if they are moving. If they are not moving, they die in 1 shot. So kind of a little interesting tidbit here. But all of a sudden, these drops here are doing a heck of a job here. Sharp is getting all of his supply depots cleaned up here. He's now pushing this bottom left-hand base. But the DTs have done a pretty good job at stalling that out so far. Where is the rest of the Protoss army? Very little in the bank right now. Tons of units are streaming across the map here, looking to put on pressure at the natural expansion. This bottom left-hand corner base for Mini is certainly not nothing, but it is not the same value as all of your production. And that is what is a threat here. Look at this, 1 tank and just a couple of vultures. We even have a Wraith in the air. He gets absolutely shot out of the sky and obliterated. And the Dragoons are marching into the natural expansion here. Now, of course, it's really just the natural comsat at this point because we don't have a CC anymore. But man, oh man, this is all of the production that Sharp has. If he lifts this, of course, he can move his buildings, but there's going to be no units to defend that, so that's not going to be a very successful tactic at all here. And there is the last tank, and it goes down. Oh my gosh, has Mini turned this around with an excellent double drop here. This base isn't even dead yet. There's 2 units here. These Dragoons and the Zealot could even come over here and just save this Nexus at this point. But we are too busy reveling in the glory of the defeat of the main base here of the Terran. Here we go. The Straggler army comes back to try and save these factories. We have 5 tanks here versus a whole lot of Dragoons. And, oh my god, I cannot believe this fucking base died, though. For real, though, guys, this shouldn't happen. Anyways. But, yeah, man, these tanks, I mean, this is a lot of units, don't get me wrong here. But Mini has been mining this entire time and amassing yet another army here, as you can see in the natural expansion rally point. We have goons coming across the map here now to make sure that there aren't any mines in the way that could deter any more units from coming across and finishing this Terran base off here. And look at this. I mean, we are completely out of money here. We have 1 mining mineral-only base here, but that is not going to cut it. You need gas in order to produce Terran mech units. We're going to just basically be only making vultures for the rest of forever until we're able to secure a gas mining base once again. I would say even just getting the workers over there to start mining the depleted gases. Depleted gases, guys, still give a little bit of gas if they're being mined. But as it stands, vultures are the only unit that are being produced. We have cleared up the minefield now here at the final mining base here for Sharp. But things are getting really weird. So Mini super duper close to finishing off Sharp. He's in the main base. He's literally killing all the buildings. Half of them are on fire. And yet unable to close it out. And now we are 1 base to 1 base. And Mini's like, fuck it, dude. We're going in. So we have all of the units just piling through this gigantic minefield. We are barreling down the neck of Sharp right now. Probes getting in on the action even. Taking the tank shots as the units... the range units in the back here start pounding away. We have just a few more Dragoons left. The storms are making all the difference here. Tanks are about to get obliterated. We just have vultures on the field now, barely able to pay for the scarabs at this point. But oh my god, we have storms on the mineral line here. We're evacuating SCVs with a dropship that only has 23 HP and the CC is lifted. We have a second CC now trying to make its way out on the map, potentially to get in position to retake that if this one goes down. And oh my god, Sharp has left the game. What is going on? What a spectacular ending. Holy crap. What an amazing game played by both these guys. Wow. Oh, that was exhausting. I don't know about you guys. I am emotionally drained after watching that game. I hope you guys enjoyed the cast here. Man, what a sick game between Sharp and Mini here. Mini just winning by the skin of his teeth. Look at this pathetically small army. This is all that he had left. We have a bunch of units coming out of the rally point, but this is the main assault, and oh my gosh, did he barely make it with even the probes that came from the bottom left-hand corner. But that is that killer instinct. Mini comes out successful, victorious. What an outstanding game. I hope you guys enjoyed that, man. We will see you next time here at StarCastTV. This has been DocHoliday Cast for you guys. Have a good one.